Kevin, good to meet you. Thanks for sitting down for a few moments.
My pleasure.
Our industry tries to take care of people when they need service repair or replacement. But we're always encouraging people to maintain their home. So I figured in your world there's a few top maintenance tips you like to give to people. I thought you might mention what those are.
So the first one starts with your Rolodex. And by that I mean have a person you can call, because obviously these things, when they go down, your systems when they go down, you want to back up quickly. And do you have a relationship with a plumber or an electrician? Maybe not. So having that relationship and a number you can call is important. Sometimes it's actually a general contractor who you've worked with and say, hey, who are your subs? But most people just going through the phone book and trying to figure out, well, who is this person who's going to come over? You're not going to get the response you always need if you don't have that relationship. So knowing in advance who to call is a really key thing.
Unlike when I grew up, where you had a family electrician, you had a family plumber, people don't have that. That's why where we come in, people can call our numbers, 800 number 24/7, and we'll send out a trusted local plumber and electrician. What about some of the home maintenance things people should just do on their own, though, to keep things from breaking down?
The one thing is to sort of stay on top of it. There are systems in our house that are pretty sophisticated. The things that keep us warm, the things that put air conditioning out, the things that make hot water. But it requires a little bit of staying on top of it. And by that I mean there are filters to these things. So if you've got a forced hot air system, you should be changing those filters. And you should be changing them a lot more frequently than people think.
Most people forget.
They forget, or they say, oh, it's like 3 years, honey, let's do it.
Exactly.
It's more of like 6 months, depending on what kind of a system you have. And also, I mean, that's with the air side, so you can imagine filters. On the water side, people probably don't also understand that there's a lot of minerals in water. So the hot water heater, the tank that makes the hot water for your bathtub and your sink, and the boilers that make hot water for your radiators and your baseboard. Lots of buildup.
Drain them now and then?
Drain them if you have to, or get a contract where a guy will come in and drain them. That buildup of those minerals, it's going to reduce your efficiency and it's going to shorten the life. So if you can stay on top of it, you'll do just the opposite. You'll extend the life, you'll improve the efficiency.
We step in when people need something that's broken down. It's broken down, they need it service repaired or replaced. But we like to encourage them to not have to have that happen. What are some maybe items around the home in terms of systems or appliances that people ought to think about replacing before they break down?
So if you think about the water heater, right? Most people have a standalone tank, 30, 40 gallons, maybe even bigger. It's either got a flame underneath or it's got electrical heat sources. They have a lifespan, right? Call it 10 years. Richard Trethewey has said this a million times. These are steel tanks. They're going to rust, they're going to fail. If you have a tank that's 10, 11 years old, you're on borrowed time. And when is it going to go? It's going to go when you need it.
Most. When the whole family's over for Thanksgiving, on the weekend.
Absolutely. And so now you're getting into that position where you're just like, well, I know I'm going to have to replace this in a year or two. Why not get ahead of it before it leaks, and I don't have to make the emergency call, and I can start thinking about what's the new model that I want.
Because water heater's like 26 years old. Isn't that kind of scary? I mean, that's just not healthy.
No, it is not. And so in that situation, obviously you're excited because you're just like, oh wow, I don't have to pay for a new one. It's still working. But you know what? We know that it's going to fail. It's just 26 years old. So do it before it fails. You won't have a flood in your basement or in your garage, and you won't have to make that emergency call.
And my guess is a 26-year-old water heater just isn't very healthy either to have around.
It's not going to be efficient. So get on top of it.
Kevin, thanks for sitting down and chatting with us. Good to see you.